Today we're going to be making a traditional Mexican cookie. It's called Pan De Polvo. It translates to bread of powder, but that's not what it is. It's a tea cookie, a wedding cookie, a shower cookie. It's used for special occasions in Mexico. One of the prime ingredients in it that makes it a really, really authentic recipe is that it has anise in it. This is where you can, what it looks like when you buy it. And it has a very special flavor, almost like a licorice maybe, but it's a little burst of happiness when you taste it in your cookie. It's something called A-N-I-S-E, anise. Anyway, we're going to be using cloves, cinnamon, baking powder, and the most important ingredient is lard. That is your product that's going to keep it nice and flaky and together. So we're going to be doing everything inside of this KitchenAid, and we're going to use this to turn it. I'm cutting the recipe that I have in half because it's for 11 cups and it's just way too much powder everywhere. So I'm going to make 2 recipes out of the one today. And we'll be cooking them at 325 degrees. So I know that everybody's gonna like them. We're gonna make them out of little hearts and little flowers. They freeze very well and you're gonna love them, just like Grandma made them. Okay, now that we've got all of our materials and everything that we need, our lard, our sugar, eggs, all of our ingredients, we're gonna get our KitchenAid ready to start doing the lard. So the first thing we're going to do is cream the lard and the sugar. So since this lard is in really big, it's a big piece, I'm going to cut it in several pieces so it'll make it easier to cream.
You don't need to heat it up at all, do you?
No.
Is it room temperature?
It is room temperature. And for those of you who don't know what lard is, it's pure fat. That's what makes these cookies so good. So we're going to do 1 cup of sugar. That's good. So we're going to put the lard and the sugar together, and we're going to cream it. And let it run by itself for a little bit. Get that all nice and creamy. Want to take a look at what it looks like? Nice and creamy. And I'm going to give it one more little good stirring up. Okay, now that we have it all fluffy and pretty, the sugar and the lard, we're going to put the spices. So here's our anise. We have 1 teaspoon of anise. We're going to do some ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon also of this. Make sure that that's not too much. So we got 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Then we're going to do salt, just regular table salt, white salt. Pour that in there. And we have cloves. I have ground cloves is the next thing we're going to be doing. So we're going to do just a little bit under 1/4 of clove. It's very strong, so we're going to do just a little bit of that. Okay? It smells so good. And the last ingredient is going to be baking powder. a teaspoon of baking powder.
That helps it rise. Is that correct?
So we have all of our ingredients in there except for the flour. So we're going to go ahead and beat this real good, make it nice and creamy. And then we will put our flour. These are cutout cookies, so we're going to cut them out in little hearts and little flowers. So it's getting nice and creamy. All the ingredients are coming together. It looks beautiful. So once we do that, we're going to start putting in our flour very gently, very carefully. Uh-oh, I forgot to put the egg in. You guys, I did a kitchen mistake. I forgot to put the egg in. So I just threw it in. We're gonna mix it with this ingredients. It's all right, it's no problem. We have not put the flour in yet. If we had put the flour in, then it would be a problem, but it's no problem. It's getting blended in there very nicely, giving it a little moisture. It's gonna be just fine. Okay, so I'm gonna continue blending this together. All right, Amy, you want to help here? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna scoop it in. Just slowly. Do you have one of those guards? I do, but I don't know where it is. Okay. So Haley is going to put in the flour, and it's just going to be a little scoop at a time so that everything can get coated with the flour. You can dump the whole thing. Yeah.
I have bad luck. Sometimes it'll jump back at me.
Oh, it will.
I like this sprinkler a lot.
Here is our dough, and it looks kind of crumbly, you can see, but it also holds a ball. And this is the ball that we're going to be doing and rolling it out, okay? So we're going to let it set for just a little bit, and I'm going to take it over to a cutting board, and we're going to start cutting our little shapes out and putting it on the cookie sheet, okay? I'm going to get a little bit of flour on here, on our mat, so it's nice and smooth and nothing will stick to it, okay? And these are the little cookie cutters that we're going to be using, the hearts and the little flowers. We want to make sure that everything is on here. And I'm going to get my rolling pins. Okay, I want to show you some of these little things right here. They're little rubber guards, and they go on the roller. So with them on the roller, it will give you the exact height every time. So we don't want some to be higher than others, so we want them to be exact. Okay. So we're going to put these little rubber rings on our rolling pin so that they can be the exact same size. We're going to put a little bit of flour on our rolling pin just to make sure that everything nice and dry on here. So we're going to bring our dough. Now, we're going to make a big ball right here. Lisa, will you come and get me a cookie sheet from down here below, please? So we're going to make a little ball out of this. I'm going to roll it out. And you can see how crusty and pretty the dough looks.
And even.
Mm-hmm. These little rubber things right here will make it nice and even. The whole thing, whoops, the whole thing will be the same.
I need you to move your foot.
I'm going to put a little bit of flour so that it won't stick. Okay, so we've got a little bit rolled out. We're going to start with the little flowers. We're going to put this in here. And we're going to cut them out like this. You can see the little seeds, anise seeds in there. They're going to be good. So we're going to get our spatula and we're going to cook on an ungreased cookie sheet. Okay? Haley, I'm going to give them to you and you're going to put them on the sheet.
Okay.
Not too close together because they need room to breathe. Perfect. And these cookies, you can make all different sizes. If you want them bigger, if you want them smaller. My grandma used to make them and they were little tiny little things. One more?
Yep, one more.
Okay, we're going to roll out what we have left here. We still have a lot of dough. We're going to make a lot of cookies today here. And see what we have here. Let me show you. This is really important. If you see here on the side, all of that, how it's layered, you can see the little crustiness in there. That's going to be so delicious. You can tell by that. Our timer just went off, so we're going to take them out of the oven. And you can see they're golden brown on the bottom. We're going to put in another load. Close it up. Put our timer for 12 minutes. Okay, so we're going to take these off. We're going to wait for a minute for them to be on the pan. They continue to cook that 1 minute. So we're going to just leave them there for just a second. And then we're going to put them on a little rack to get a cooling rack. Okay, our cookies have cooled off enough. They look beautiful. Now we're going to take them to the table and put them in the sugar mixture. Once they have the sugar mixture, then we're going to taste them to make sure they taste good.
Gentle, you can't
Yes,
be
they're
rough.
very fragile.
You want to do the bottom,
And then
you
turn it
flip
over.
it, and you do the top.
Yeah, and they need to be a little warm so that
The sugar mixture will stick.
yeah.
That's good, that's good. Instead of nuevas tamaleras, we're Pan De Polvo cookie girls.
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to just stack them nice in there. We'll close this up and get ready for our next batch.
Yes.
That's it.
So we have already made our beautiful Pan De Polvo. It is a traditional Christmas cookie, and I had friends over today to make this. We have some little hearts and some little flowers. They are gorgeous and they taste, oh, so good. So when it comes time to making treats for Christmas, or you want to start a holiday tradition in your house, make this. It's called Pan De Polvo. If you are Latina or Mexican, you probably know what this is because you used to probably eat it at your grandma's. It's a wonderful, wonderful tradition to start with your family. And this recipe I recommend to everyone. So what do you guys think?